Welcome to Geek Herring, a critical geek culture podcast where we talk about intersectional and inclusive feminism in a male-dominated environment. Hi, I'm Amanda, and with me today is my wonderful, hilarious, and brightly colored wearing co-host, Moni.
That didn't. All I saw was the raising of your chest, but I think the didn't come out very well.
No, it didn't. Moni. I've lost
Moni.
it. It's gone. It's gone. Moni.
Kinda, yeah.
Moni.
Yeah.
We've been friends for like 5.5, 6 years. I don't even know how long, and I can't pronounce her name. Your name? Her name? Whatever.
Her name. It's 6 years almost because I'm self-employed for 6 years.
It's
this
true.
Year.
Yeah. June.
Yeah. Something
we're
like that.
almost 6 years together. That's so cute.
I know. Also, where the fuck did the time go? Jesus Christ.
I know.
That's like
I'm having a full circle moment actually because I sent someone a really awkward picture of feet today, and that's how we became friends. It wasn't my feet. It was photoshopped. It wasn't photoshopped. Right. It was Canva shopped. It was not my feet.
You say that now, and then it turns out it's your feet. You are responsible for the ads that Liz is apparently getting constantly right now.
Mm-mm.
Liz is getting feet ads, I think.
Mm-mm.
So I just blame
fault.
It on you.
No,
you're the feet person ever since. I know
I'm not the feet person.
Funny that you say that, by the way, because the other day I was watching, sometimes I find like memes on Facebook or whatever, and one of them, and some of them are like subtitled conversations of things that happened on like Graham Norton, for example. And the other day I read that Kate Winslet had to put socks on in a movie where she had like some kind of sex scene or whatever, or like a close scene with Idris Elba, because she thought he hates feet, but the opposite is true. Idris Elba is into feet. So I just found that really funny, to be honest.
Good to know.
Yeah. So she had to wear socks.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that information, but I appreciate having it.
Feel like I don't know what you do with it either, but I feel like it needs to be known.
Yes, thank you.
It wouldn't be into my feet, Liz says. And I'm like, I generally don't like feet at all. I don't understand why anybody likes them. I don't admire. I'm like, in disbelief that there are people touching them deliberately for like pedicures and things. I'm just like, why would anybody want this kind of job? But I mean,
agree. Sorry,
each to their own.
Very important conversation about feet. Can you hear that?
No, I don't think so. Like, not
okay.
When you spoke, I heard something, but when you don't speak, I didn't.
Okay, that's fine. And because, of course, today they're doing garden work, trimming the bushes with a big fucking thing.
I mean, when you speak, I can hear it. When you don't speak, I can't. So it's because.
Okay, so just carry on, Moni. Take our show away.
No, that's not how we do it.
It's now the Moni Show.
No, I don't know if I'm the best person for this topic today in general, or in general, but we decided we go with it because everything else is too fucking depressing, and we have no energy to speak about the things that we should probably be speaking about. But life is too hard right now. So we are like, let's do something that hurts no one. Valentine's Day.
Yeah. We had a big conversation actually about whether we were going to talk about the serious stuff going on. And Moni got some very angry messages from me. Not the anger was not directed towards Moni. Not towards Moni. The anger was me out into the world, and I was
it was quite funny actually,
I'm gonna swim this out. Like I swam, and the entire swim, I was like, I got out of the pool, and I was like, that swim didn't help. We need to talk about this.
That did not help in the slightest. Like,
It
you
made
just
it
came
worse.
with me with fuel. That's what I've read from the messages. She was just like, I just swam this off. I tried to swim it off. It didn't work. It was clearly getting worse. And she's like, we need to speak about this because da 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 da. And I'm just like, I'm not sure this is such a good idea to speak about all of this from this place right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided
what
today
we're
is
saying is that we acknowledge that shit is shit right now. Like it is really, really, really shit, and we're not talking about it on purpose.
which kind of makes us flukes, but at the same time everything is so heated right now, and I don't think it's a good position to add to it at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not adding to it at this moment.
But we will likely in
Yeah.
the future have a.
And I
have
mean,
a,
we
a
always
more
do
calmer
anyway, I
discussion.
feel like, or we try to do it anyway. Like, we try to be, like, speak about all these issues that are very burning right now throughout the entire podcast anyway. So it's not that it's just, this is the one or die, one or no episode. It's just, it's a constant topic that I think this, like, kind of going throughout our stuff anyway. But, yeah, right now it's just everybody's. It's not a good place.
We could all use a mental break.
Yeah, which is why Valentine's Day it is, which is very ironic considering I'm so not super romantic in the slightest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a big Valentine's person, but it's Valentine's Day today, so we thought, why not talk about love in like all its geeky things, like the games with good love stories and books that we love, that like have like the love theme, and rom-coms and other things like love in the media that we love. Love.
I'd also be curious if you've ever gotten a really cool Valentine's gift that you remember to this day.
Yes. My first boyfriend was a radio DJ. Well, he is currently a radio DJ. But when he was at school, at college learning, he like made me a mixtape of all sorts of songs and some snippets from his like radio stuff, radio talks and stuff, and he put it all together and he gave it to me and he was like, see if you can find the hidden message. And
Miss Nancy Drew in you was like, dun, da, da, da.
But I didn't get the hidden message.
Aww.
So like now, many years later, like 18 years later, I'm like, I never did figure that out. I wonder what he was trying to tell me. And now, and like it's given me such a complex that now if somebody sends me like a song they want me to hear, I'm like, why do they want me to hear this song? What do they mean behind this? Like, is this just a song, or are they trying to tell me something?
Michael said in chat, was it all Taylor Swift and Adele breakup songs? Sorry, I just think that's really funny.
It was not, because they didn't exist. This is how old I am.
18 years ago.
They didn't exist.
But we had our version of breakup songs, didn't we?
They were not
I can't
breakup
think.
songs. I'm actually trying to think. No, because we had already broken up at that point. We had broken up and then gotten back together. So what happened is, Michael will understand this. I got turkey dumped. He went back to college and came home for Thanksgiving and dumped me over Thanksgiving. Turkey dumped.
That's what you call it? Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then when he came back home for Christmas, he was like, I really want to see you. I really want to see you. So like, I was like, fine. And we had a big talk, and I foolishly was like, okay, let's try this again. And then in the post for Valentine's Day, I got this tape, and I was like, he did not tinsel up me. He begged for me to come back. And then I got this Valentine's tape, and then in April he came home from school, and it was fine. Everything was fine. We were great. It was wonderful. And then in the summer he got a job out west and was like, "Well, I'm going out west." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, see you when next time you come home." And then he got married, and I was like, "You're cheating on me. We never broke up officially."
Excuse
the
me,
second time.
What?
He knocked a girl up, and then her dad made them get married.
That story took a fucking turn, eh? What?
Yeah.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm still Facebook friends with him.
How fucking weird.
His oldest kid is like 18, and I'm like, wow. So weird. Maybe 19 or maybe 17. Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, but he's fairly well known now because of his being a radio DJ. But is it a clear breakup message? Like, we never broke up a second time, and then I'm like, you're cheating on me, and now you're marrying her, and like, we never broke up.
What? But what did you just stop talking, or what? How did that, like, what? I don't understand all of this.
Well, the day that he was going to the airport, I like came to his house to say goodbye, and I was like, oh, and we hugged and we kissed, and then he was like, well, I'm going to the airport, and I was like, okay, like, I love you, safe flying, and then we just never talked again. Like, ever.
This is the funniest thing. I mean, it's not fun. It's funny in hindsight. It was definitely not fun in the moment, but like, holy shit.
Yeah. We talked, we connected on that thing called Facebook that was brand new, like all those years ago. So it must have been 2006. I was in a relationship with a girl, and he was like, wow, was our breakup so bad that I made you gay? And I was like, yeah, clearly. Yeah, you made me gay.
There wasn't even one. I'm just in this never-ending limbo of, will we get back together? That's why I just took a girl instead, so I wouldn't be cheating on you with a man, or whatever that means. It's bullshit what I'm saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No, it's so funny. There's no hard feelings. I was hurt at the time, of course, but there's no hard feelings. I don't see his face come across my Facebook, and I'm like,
breakup. It's so funny. Flinksy said, when I was young, a guy I was dating gave me chocolates and a dozen red roses. The only time I've ever received flowers from a guy. I thought it was very romantic, but I guess he meant it as a friendly gesture. I mean, Flinksy, you were dating, so I would assume. I would assume that it was not just a friendly gesture.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm really sorry if I've like made certain people in chat awkward with my weird story of my first love. Just no. Moni knows other stories about him.
What?
Moni knows some other stories about him.
Do I?
Yeah.
I don't remember right now. You need to remind me afterwards. No, I'm just no. Funny though. Like, in hindsight, it's funny. It's never funny in the moment, but it's funny in hindsight. Listen, I once got a card of a Walking Dead comic character with a glass shard in the eye that read, "I want to stick it where it shouldn't be." What? That story took a fucking turn while I read it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Monika, what's your Valentine story that sticks with you?
I don't think I have one. Like, I'm not like super romantic in any way. Like, I was very into lovey-dovey shit when I was like younger, and the hormones are running through you, and all you want to be is in love. Then I don't know, that was always really important. But like now, I'm just like, we just looked at each other and was like, all the best. And that's it.
Amazing. amazing.
I didn't even know what he was talking about initially. I'm like, what? Well, oh, and then it clocked that it's Valentine's Day. So I was like, oh yeah, to you too.
Aw.
I don't think I ever had I mean, I always had like really. I didn't have a lot of relationships, so only a few, and some of them they weren't around. Like because I dated online before dating online was cool. Like I just found people on the good old ICQ and the internet, and then met up. And then if it was kind of boyfriend material at the time because it was desperate as fuck, I just was boyfriend then. That's what happened. And then they were never around, so it wasn't really anybody that was like close to me when I was a teenager. And then the boyfriend that I had for like 4.5 years in like up north of Germany in Hamburg, that was like way too far away to like ever really. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember anything about that too. And then there was just a priest, and that was all different anyway. And then the weirdo. That's it. I don't have a long story of like weird thingies.
Yeah.
I found the card on Facebook Memories. Wasn't even a physical card. What do you mean it wasn't a physical card? You got an
just
email?
Like what Tom sent me today?
I mean, you're just really far away, though.
I know. To be honest, Tom and I don't really do anything for Valentine's Day. It's like happy commercial love day. That's about it.
Yeah, that's also it, right? It's not as massive, I don't think, here as it is in other, like I think in the US it's really, really fucking whoa.
It's huge. Okay, so I'm at this like senior living place that my mom lives at, and people are obsessed with Valentine's Day. Obsessed. I'm like, has this always been a thing? People have like Valentine's decorations on their doors. There's a Valentine's Day dance. There's everybody gives Valentine's cards. I'm like, you're all like 70 years old and you're just exchanging Valentine's cards? Like, I don't get it.
No. Like even that's Valentine's decoration on the door and shit. I'm just like, what? Mm-hmm. Why? But I wonder sometimes how this, like, how do you manage to make something so commercially charged? Like, this is not something that happens from one day to the next, I can't imagine. So, or from 1 year to the next. So what is happening over the... And I mean, I guess as soon as they realize how much money they can make, then all advertising will be 100% behind all of it. But I mean...
Totally.
Holy shit.
Didn't like Hallmark make this holiday or something? Who knows? But the only thing I'm a little bit sad about is that we were in Walmart one day last week and there was a gigantic dinosaur stuffed animal that was holding a heart. And I was like, Mom, I would like this for Valentine's Day. And she was like, no. And I was like, but it's gigantic.
And you're gonna pack that in your carry-on suitcase if you can't
bring
a
I would buy it a seat next to me.
I mean, can you fucking imagine coming back to Northern Ireland, walking with a dinosaur with a big heart all across the airport, seating it next to you on the plane?
Coolest person in that entire plane. Like, people would be
you
like,
would be meme material.
Girl. She's so cool. I would happily be a meme for that. I'm just saying.
Jinx says we were broken. My ex bought me $80 roses when I said no, and I was not grateful. I mean,
I would not be either.
Yeah, and that's it. Also, and that's what Faith also said. I really hate being. That's a quote from chat, by the way. I really hate being forced to do anything. So, like a special day where I'm obligated to express emotion is just not me, and I totally get that as well.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, I'm just...
This is one day I will not express my love to you.
That's also what I did on Mother's Day. And my mother was not happy about that.
Yeah, I'm like, I show you every day of my life that I love you, that you're a great mom, that blah, blah, blah. Why? No, not doing it today. Mm-mm.
Yeah, honestly. I'm just, my life, like everything in my life is filled with spite. So especially those things, I'm like, fuck all of that. Fuck it. Like, you didn't do any. And also, I don't take anything that happens on that day seriously. Because if you gave a shit, you give a shit about me or tomorrow too, or yesterday, and not just today. So I'm just like, leave me alone with all of this. And it's not that I need like stupid bunch of roses. Like, also, I don't like this any of this either. So I'm not a flower person. I think it's wasted piece of money. Like, you just cut off flowers so they die afterwards, and in 3 days you throw them away. And then what was all of that shit for? Like, it feels like the most unsustainable gift to ever give someone. So why would, also it's fucking expensive. So why would you even want to give that to someone? Like, buy me a cactus
give me a
or
plant.
something. Yeah, exactly. Give me a cactus.
Give me something with roots that will stay alive like our love.
Yes, but also everything I touch dies, so maybe not.
And I agree with what Michael said. Michael prefers gestures that are not on an obligatory holiday. Give me flowers on a random Thursday because they reminded you of me. And I agree with this 100%. I'm like, I would not appreciate flowers like on Valentine's Day, but if you're just like, hey, I saw this bouquet of daisies and it made me think of you, and it's like April 4th.
Yeah, you were close with April because April. Oh no, my birthday month. What do I do? I
like,
can't use April.
Date that is
no.
Date that is not April Fool's. Date that is not your birthday. I was like 4th.
Yeah, 4th.
I'm so sorry, Liz and Gemma. We don't hate love. Well, I don't hate love. I quite like love. And I just.
I quite like love. I love that.
I love love. I just have no real feelings towards Valentine's Day. But I love that Gemma does. I love that Gemma loves love and loves Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and I also think it's different, right? Because I feel Gemma is also a person who expresses her love freely throughout the year. So for me, this is very different if somebody does that throughout the year anyway. So it's not just this on this one day you get special treatment because it's Valentine's Day. And how many, and I'm going to generalize it now, how many men don't give a flying fuck about their people in their lives and then just gift something on Valentine's Day because they have to? Like, and every other Thursday, they don't give a flying fuck what's going on and treat you like shit. But now, because it's Valentine's Day, now you get something. So this is this is the thing that annoys me, right? So this is for me also not an expression of love, but it's, I guess, also because I'm really, 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 really acts of servicey. Like, I'm so hardcore acts of service, it's kind of cracking me up a little bit. Because what the weirdos started to do recently, because we're not going to bed together anymore after like years of fighting over it, all of a sudden they stopped and I'm free reigning over my sleeping time, which is the worst fucking shit to happen. But here we are. But what I noticed in the last couple of weeks is that whenever I go to bed, my pillow is like fluffed up and in a position, and I'm like, And then I asked him, because I was like, am I making this up or is he doing it? And he's actually fluffing up my pillow when he's going to bed without me. And honestly, this is the cutest thing. Like, I'm just like, this shit, even though I don't care, like, technically I don't care about what my pillow is like, but because he's fluffing up my pillow, I'm like, you're the cutest, what is going on?
Honestly, that is the cutest shit I have ever heard that he does, ever.
I know.
And all of our years of friendship, I'm like,
I know. And you know, like,
you.
I know he does. Yes, he does love me. I know that he loves me, but it's just because this is how acts of servicey I am. I'm just like, this is way better than if he would buy me flowers tomorrow or give me a gift tomorrow. I don't give a shit, right? But because he's fluffing up my pillow and I see it for 30 seconds when I go to bed, this is speaking right to my heart. And that's why all of this outsidey thing isn't totally not at all my jam. But these things are. It's like that, like, oh, look, he thinks about me. And then I know he thinks about me.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute. Tom is an acts of service guy as well.
Yeah. How do you
I'm
handle
not.
that? Yeah, you're the words of affirmation person,
I'm the
which
words
is
of
very
affirmation.
difficult.
It's very different. So like I actually I don't get a lot of love validation because that's not Tom's love language. So I'm like, uh-huh. Just so yeah, we have a little clash, and like I know that it's fine. Let's not get into this.
Yeah, but I get like I totally like I think it's also we can dial it down on our friendship because I'm also not at all words of affirmation and you are very. So I just think that can often be really tricky because we don't speak the same language in that regard. And it's just difficult to because it's sometimes hard. Like sometimes when I look at the weird and I'm like, why is everything so difficult? Like, why can you just not? I think sometimes if you don't speak that language, it's hard for you to see when you are loved. So because all the things Tom is doing for you, you just maybe not necessarily always see them as an expression of love, while for him it's like 100% an expression of love, while you just want to have him say something like, I really like you or something, and that's like
Sometimes he says something to me just like out of the blue and I start to cry and he's like, what? And I'm like, you don't ever tell me that and it was really nice to hear.
ah see, and
like,
for
I
me,
would like to hear this more.
oh,
Or
look how
things
cute
along
you
that
are.
line. And then it goes months and I'm like, okay.
I cannot tell you the last time the Weirdo and I told each other that we loved each other. But it's not, I'm not missing it at all because to me, this is always something where I'm like, and I mean, I think it's a little bit based on my history with things, but it's also because I just think people say so much shit all the time and they don't necessarily mean it. And and it's also because the ex basically told me he loved me and then told me he just said it because he thought I wanted to hear it, but not because it was actually true. So I'm just like, well, so that's also why I'm like, words are not. I hear them, I acknowledge them, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. You can show me how true that is. While on the long run, just telling me something for me makes doesn't stick at all.
I agree with Jinx as well. Like we say it a lot, but not all mushy. And totally. Like I say, like that's not the words that I'm specifically meaning that make me cry.
Yeah.
That out there.
Liz says dating an author who needs words of affirmation is tricky for me too. Liz, you're also a words of affirmation person. You just like to put yourself down, and that's also bullshit because you write very well as well.
True, you do.
Yeah, I love you. Shut up. And if I think, and I mean I have to, I think when the weirdo calls me an old coochie, that's his expression of him loving me, because I do think that we have like the way I speak to literally, and I feel the closer we are, the less I would say anything. Like I don't know I've ever told you I like you or whatever, but then in an overall general setting, I'm just like, I love you all. But in a one-to-one, with the closer I am with people, I would never say that.
It's true. It's like a barren wasteland between me and Moni.
I'm so sorry.
And I'm like, Moni, how do you feel about me? And okay. Last Valentine's Day, I had like a total freak out because I had like a fairly new group of friends who I was getting close to. And I was like, do they like me? I don't know if they like me. How do you know if people like you if they don't tell you that they like you? Like, I obviously like them and I'm talking all the time, but like, do they like me? And I had a minor meltdown and was like, I don't know how to make friends. And I mean, I was obviously like also in a very like recent grief situation. I was just like, I don't know how to do the brain and the friends and how do you make friends? Like, I'm too old to make friends. And then I ended up like messaging with one of those friends for ages on Valentine's Day when he had Valentine's plans with his family, and I was just like, I'm having a horrible, horrible time. Do you like me? Can we talk about this?
Oh God.
In hindsight, I felt really, really bad, but like me having this absolute like friend breakdown, which was all made up in my brain because like adult friends don't need to tell you that they like you.
I don't know. Yes, but I
Yeah.
also think it's because making friends as adults is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yuffie, nobody tolerates you. We love you, like genuinely. uh,
I have those same thoughts, Yuffie, 100%, 100%.
but I have to say, I go through the like. I have my. It's difficult. I have two approaches to things. If somebody doesn't, number one is if somebody doesn't like me, then whatever, it's not my problem. Like, I don't need to be liked by everyone. But do my friends really like me? like I do have that too, where I'm like, huh, they haven't spoken to me in like a couple of days. Maybe they hate me. Maybe they just like whatever. And I feel like that also got a bit worse during COVID too, because you kind of don't like see them as much, or like, and everybody has shit going on. So and I just know it from me, and then I try to remind myself, right, that I am also currently not reaching out, not because I don't like them, but because I am just not feeling very well right now. So it's not. And life is really busy, and I have so much work, and then I ghost somebody for like 6 months and don't talk to them. But not because I don't like them, but because life is too hard right now.
Honestly, I'm feeling like this is a group therapy session right now because
Yeah.
100% agree with everything that
Yeah.
you just said. And like, I feel like I'm being annoying. And I will use an example from yesterday. I was messaging somebody, but my brain was very overwhelmed, and I like wrote them like this kind of message, and I was like, and over the course of an hour, no response, and I was just like something else, and then I was like, thanks for putting up with me, and they replied, I was having a nap. I didn't do anything.
I was having a nap.
I was
How
having a
fucking
nap.
dare you have a nap while I have a crisis?
Honestly.
What happens to me sometimes is that I think of something like I've said something stupid, which I always do because I'm also always dishing out to everyone. And then I feel really guilty because then I start to connect to things like a lack of communication with what I just said. And then I feel really bad. And then I fall into this guilt spiral that we talked just before we started the stream, where I start to feel so guilty about something that I said like 3 days ago. And I will bring this with me on my guilt journey for days, for absolute days. And either I just sit it out and sometimes it stops, or I start to message a fucking novel to whoever person I said whatever to, and I'm like, I'm so sorry I said it, I really didn't. And then I explain everything, and they are just like, what the fuck is just going on here? Like, why? What, I didn't read it like this at all. Honestly.
This is my life, money. Oh my gosh. Like,
That's...
So there are the people who are like this, including us and many people in chat, and then there are the people who are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And apparently we only have these connections with them.
With the what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Because
I don't know.
I sometimes get it with you as well.
Do you have it with me as well?
Sometimes
I think I'm so secure with you and with Tom that I rarely have it with you.
Well, that's good.
But with newer ones, because we know each other for 6 years, like it reaches a point where they're like, yeah, they know me now, I know them now, so it's not. But like all the new ones,
there's a point in a friendship where you get and like all of a sudden you become too open, and then you're like, oh, I think I can actually say anything to you, and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what you could tell me that I'm like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It
It's like
it
also
is.
really awkward when it's a fairly new friendship and you like get to a point of like openness really, really quickly, and then you're like emotionally open, not open
Yeah.
about like other things, but then all of a sudden you say something like super emotional, and then you're like, this could go terribly.
I
But then
mean,
they
I don't.
respond in hopefully a good way and are like as emotionally open, and then you're like, oh, okay, we
Yeah.
crossed that bridge. Okay, we're friends now.
I don't know. I don't think I've. I feel like because sometimes my brain is not as. My brain is not as. I sometimes think I'm really slow with my brain. I don't think I'm stupid or whatever. I do think I have like some wits about me. But I think I'm sometimes really slow with processing things. So I know this from like, and I feel I catch myself, especially also during work situations where I started to work in a specific job and I asked a lot of questions because I wasn't getting what they were doing. And then as soon as I'm like in it more, then I realize what a stupid question that was in hindsight that even asked that, right? So I have the same thing with when I start to connect with people where I'm just like saying whatever I don't like, I'm not thinking about what I say. So I just word vomit it all out there. And then only
Mhm.
afterwards, I'm like, maybe that wasn't a great idea to say. Like I said, I told, I was had an internship and in school still, and I still carry this story with me to this day. When I was around 18 or something, and we had an 8-week internship at a printer store, and I had to sit with the secretary for like 3 hours, and after 1 hour I told her what kind of contraception I'm using, even though I was like there for like a couple of days. And then afterwards in hindsight I'm like, could you maybe not have told that? So I'm just like, and I think it's just because I'm making most of the things I say in a jokey way. I think that's how people just easier digest the bullshit that I'm dishing out.
Mhm.
So even though it's a lot of information and it's not just like blah 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 whatever, small talk shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I mean, especially not having an inner monologue. Um,
Oh yeah. I don't know how
when
you
I
do life.
just like RIP people's DMs with me, like when we have crossed a threshold, because I just like and then I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That happened.
It's I can't even, like I can't.
Yeah, but I'm also like I don't actually think I'm very good at making friends in general, because I am like I saw that Yuffie said it in chat, very closed off until I feel super secure that I won't scare someone away. I absolutely agree with that, because I'm like, uh-huh, and like I keep it really, really surface level, and then all of a sudden like something happens and we cross that, and then I'm like, oh, now you get this.
Here is my bag.
I'm so sorry. Or I'm kind of like not as apologetic now, and I'm like, thank you for putting up with me, because I know that this is a lot, but we are here now. But then there's
I
people
w-
like you, and I'm just like, here you go, deal with it.
I honestly never felt anything of the sort that, like, I never felt like all the fears you're expressing. I never had this reaction to any of that. Like, I never once read your message and was like, oh my god, holy shit, that's a lot.
Well, that's
Not,
good.
not once.
That's good.
Jinx says I'm only extroverted when I'm drinking, so it's not safe.
I mean, that is all. Yeah, I am a different person after a few drinks, in a group of people that I know only like surfacely.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking if we got, like, because I couldn't remember when we got drunk last, but yeah, I remember now. I mean, maybe not last, but I remember. I don't know. I wonder how much of all this insecurity. I wonder if men share that. And B, I wonder how much is because everybody in the society keeps telling us bullshit that actually nobody really like has in the same way anyway. Like all the people that are in chat right now basically echo what we are saying down to a T. So I'm like, is it just that we have so many people that are like us here, or is it actually that it's just so common that everybody has the same issues but nobody fucking talks about it? So we're just all sitting here in our own misery and being like, nobody likes me, life is horrible, why do you hate me? And maybe I'm shit.
Yeah, I was talking with someone the other day about because they think that somebody that I'm awkwardly not using any names. So they think that someone that we both know doesn't like them. And so eventually I was just like, why do you think they don't like you? And they were like, because they're like they I don't even remember what they said. And I was like, you're ridiculous. Of course they like you. Like, of course they do. They wouldn't be talking to you if they didn't like you. And then I was like, and I was going to say this, but something came up, so I'm saying it now. And they, um, so I've totally lost my train of thought.
Because Cheesy looked at you weird.
Uh-huh. uh-huh. So much
Somebody feels called out.
But what I was going to say before something happened, I don't even remember what, but the conversation, I went somewhere else. And I was like, of course they like you. Like, I have those things as well where I think that people don't like me, but they somehow seem to keep coming back to me and like talking to me about things. So obviously they do like me. So I have decided that unless somebody tells me that they don't like me, I'm going to just assume that they like me. And I think that we could all take that attitude. I mean, it's still a work in progress, but I'm 100% like, this is what I'm putting out there into this world right now.
I mean, yes, but also I definitely, like, sometimes I don't need people to tell me they don't like me, because sometimes I'm very aware when people don't like me and just tolerate my existence because we're in the same circles. So,
but like, if somebody is talking to you, like they initiate a conversation, I'm like, yeah, there's obviously, like, they don't hate you.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't hate you. They might not want to be best friends with you, but they don't hate you.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure. Life and friends and love is really hard.
Yeah, so let's actually get to the conversation we were going to have today. 45 minutes later.
Well, it's also because I'm not sure we have so much to say about everything. Like, do you have any nice romantic geeky things that not lovey-dovey stuff?
Nah, not really, but I do want to actually talk about the movie 80 for Brady. I went to see it yesterday on Valentine's Day with my mom and two of her friends and one of her friend's daughters, also my friend who's down. So like, it was a group of 5 women going to see 80 for Brady, and some of them are in their like late 60s, mid 70s. Like, so it was quite relevant hanging out with like old people watching an old people movie starring Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, my icons. But that movie was so good. Like, it was a football movie, but it wasn't. Like, it was about Tom Brady, who I didn't know who that was until I saw the movie yesterday. I'm so sorry, football people.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I don't know. And it was like this story of friendship and like everything that we're talking about, and like this group of 4 friends went through so much together over the years. And that's what I loved about it. Like, it was hilarious. It was heartwarming. It was really hard at moments because like there was women in it who had been widowed recently and talking about like the loss of their husbands, and one of them had cancer, and that's how they actually like started to watch football, was during like cancer treatment. And so like it was hard at times. Like, it wasn't this like light and fluffy movie, but it was a story of friendship that goes into like your 70s, your 80s, your 90s, and like that kind of friend love is more like so important, especially as you age. I mean, it's important all the time, but especially as you age, to be there for your friends. I really, 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 really liked the movie, and I would actually go and see it again. I liked it so much.
Cool. I think I saw an interview with the four, because it was four actresses that main cast something. I do think I saw with a discussion about this, and I saw Jane Fonda actually saying that she is actively trying to make people befriend her, and she's doing that by constantly reaching out to them. So it's not impossible to make friends when you're older. Basically, that's where she was coming from. Just because she was like constantly messaging the other ones that were participating, I think Sally Field or Rita Moreno, she was just constantly like checking in and like putting in the effort to be in contact with them. And that was kind of fascinating maybe, and kind of also showed me how shit of a friend I actually am, because I'm not at all like that in the slightest. And she was right when she was saying she's doing that intentionally to basically nurture the friendships and create new ones in the end.
Yeah. I think it's a good message, especially like in terms of everything we've been talking about. That like it's okay to reach out to people even if you're not sure. Like if you're nervous, you're like, "Oh, do they like me? Do they not like me?" Like just try. See what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I don't know where. I feel like I was really good in my youth with connecting and with friends and everything and calling them and whatever. And somewhere along the way, I got really, really bad at it. And I can't put my finger on it where that happened.
I think I've had so many like big / close friendships end quite abruptly or quite like dramatically or even just like quietly, and I developed a bit of a complex about it, if I'm totally honest, because I used to be really good. Like I remember going up the escalator my first day of university, and there was like one person standing up there, and he was like, "Medieval studies," and I was like, "Medieval studies," and we hugged and we were like best friends for 4 years.
What's that for us?
And like I used to be the person that like I would have all these friend groups and I'd be like, let's all hang out together, and then like I brought friends together. But I was always like, I never hung out with other people's friends. I always like brought everyone together, and then they made friends. And I was like, I am like a friend catalyst. And then people stopped being friends with me, and I'm like, oh, what have I done? Oh, I think this is a much larger psychological issue that maybe I should unpack.
I mean, I think there are different aspects to all of this, right? So one is when you're one is when you're younger, I feel like your values also kind of start to change and shift. Like you're more open to everything because you're experiencing and learning more. So you're like, let's be friends with everyone. And then you start to kind of, it's also something that I've read somewhere, or I don't know, that the older you get, the fewer friends you have, because you really focus on the quality of your friends and not the quantity of it, which makes so much sense, because you just, over the years, I feel like you start to realize who is a good friend and a way that you want to be friends with them, and like gives you what you like. And I'm not saying that you need to give and get from friendships, but it's like some kind of exchange nonetheless. And so if somebody's just taking and sucking out your energy, then those are not the people you will want to keep in your life in whatever way, even though in a surface level it seemed like you were really good friends. But when you go deeper and really figure out the values of the person, that's where you separated. And I also had like this massive friendship breakup where I thought for a while I would never recover, but then I also decided I don't want to give them that much energy. Like I don't want to, and this was like kind of family, almost family like friendship that then ended. Because it was also partly family, and that for me, for a while, I was really like, if that breaks up, then whatever is not nothing. Like nobody else is not worth it, but like everybody else can hurt me like that. But then at the same time, somewhere along the line, I decided that is too much power that I give them, And if I basically just make all my friendship decisions based on what happened to me because of it, I'm the one who's suffering. They don't give a shit about it anymore. Like, because you don't have contact with them anymore anyway. And you're the one who is suffering from that, and not anybody. Like, not the person you're doing it because of. Not because, yeah. So, yeah. Exactly. Deb says I've learned to distance myself from people who suck the energy out of me 100%.
Same. No, I definitely do that. That distance is important. And sometimes it's a little bit awkward when a person needs to be in your life, and you're like, I don't enjoy spending time in your company.
And I think we push ourselves more than we want to anyway. Like, I feel we try not to. Nobody immediately drops a person based off the first sign that they get from them being kind of not aligned with what you're about in life anymore. Like, we give a lot of people a lot of pre-credit anyway. Like, I don't know. But some people are just it is the repeated issue that when you feel like it's repeatedly more taking from you than a shared friendship experience, then I feel it's just really difficult.
Yeah.
Jinx said, I will say I no longer have close friends to talk to about important things, and that is hurting right now. COVID and Trump changed too much for us all here. Yeah. It's like, it's really, I think it's just, I wonder how much that all, like, I don't know, maybe it's some bit of, like, what I know, I don't feel, I just need to, speaking is really hard.
Word it out.
What I try to say is, I don't think I don't have a lot of friends. I do think I have a lot of really good friends. None of them are here in physical form. Like, and after the years, especially, I feel like there is one left, like, that's my best friend here, and she's like, I feel like we've went through a bit of like ups and downs with it, especially like COVID was kind of a bit rocky, but we got through that in a way, not because she was like totally, like, she was not a QAnon person or whatever, like, but she was more critical or less critical kind of than I anyway. So it was a bit tricky for a while, but it means that only one person is left, and I do feel that as well, like that nobody's, like, I feel like I always had this dream of having a lot of people and a lot of friends that can come to your house and you can like eat together and like play games together and things, and I literally don't have those people anymore, and that feels really lonely too. Like, that sometimes feels very sad, and not because I'm like, I don't have any friends. I feel I do have a lot of friends, but they are not compatible with my life. And to a degree, I feel like maybe it's my own fault, and it probably is, but it's also because I feel it's so difficult to find someone that is so niche. Like, where can you find, I live in Bumfuck, Nowhere, hillbilly town. There are a lot of people, but they're all very the same. And so I feel different because I'm nerdy and I'm not married with kids since I'm like 20, and I have my own business and I do work that nobody understands. So it's difficult to connect with people when they don't even get your life in a way. And so that's, I think, what makes it difficult to just connect with others.
Yeah, I get that as well. Being like, I will say I've had difficulty making long-term friendships in Northern Ireland. And I think like, and then there's the whole, like, they just end. And I'm like, what happened? But I think it's a Northern Irish thing. That's okay. But like 90%
I mean, I think
of
also it means that those people weren't supposed to be in your life.
That's true. That
like
true.
It just that's not people that you wanted anyway, and it maybe took longer for you to figure it out.
That's very true. Yeah. So I agree that like 95% of my close friends and the people that I want to talk to every day, I have met through like the internet and Twitch and less Twitter, mostly Twitch and Discord, like, and that's
Yeah.
how the connections was made. But I do really want to shout out like one of my friends in Northern Ireland who I have had a rocky relationship with over the years. But I was the maid of honor at her wedding in October. And like I always kept myself back from like sharing too much of my life with her. Even though like we have been through so much over the years, mostly good, but some not so good. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, after the wedding, after like we got very close, like in the times coming up to the wedding, and like some that emotional barrier finally disappeared for me. And now like
Interesting.
she gets it all, and I'm like, wow, how did this happen? Like we have been friends for 14 years with a little gap in there. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I finally feel like I can talk to you about the stuff that's going on in my life. And it's really
Interesting.
nice. It's really nice to have somebody in person that I can go for Indian food and like bare my soul with. And I'm like, huh, this is nice. This is really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's like, and that's yeah. I feel that's something that gives a whole bunch of energy as well, even if you're like introverted like you are more. But it's the good quality conversations with people that you care about. I feel is just really good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, online friendships are great, and people that you mostly talk to on the
Yeah.
internet are great. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. But there's something nice, differently nice about that in-person friendship.
Yeah. And I just also feel those are really also really difficult to make.
They are.
So
They are. Yeah. So anyways, that's all the geeky media things that we love.
I feel this was just a celebration of love and friendship, maybe with complaints and being weird because that's who we are. Yeah. And I mean,
No,
it's
this
true
is a
what
really
Lisa's
cool
saying. It's so much
conversation.
easier to find weirdos online that way. I mean, it's
That's
easy
true.
because you find the people that really merge with your interests. Like, as I said before, all those, all the friendships I had here, I had from school or maybe from work. And this is, you're kind of put together at a certain circumstance in your life, and this is what brings you together. So it's not that some shared interest brings you together, or it's not some shared value that brings you together. It's work that brings you together, and that means like it could be anything. It doesn't even need to be the same job as you, because maybe that would be kind of similar, but it still means that people could have all types of interests and all types of values, and you just get on with them. And it doesn't mean that those friendships weren't great and aren't at the time. Like I still have contact with a few of them, but like not very regularly and stuff. And but it's not comparable to I am a queer geek, let me out of here kind of thing. And so where do you it's really hard to find those, I think.
It is, but it's wonderful when you do.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do we take from this now? We need to reach out to our friends more,
And
online
people
and
do
offline.
like you.
And people do
People
like
do
you.
like you, and it's okay to show you're weird. And
I think
if
we're not even as weird as we think we are.
no, we are. We're just all weird together.
Yeah. But I think we're not too weird, even though we think we like. I think, like, for example, Liz is my prime example. I think Liz was in her life in a lot of situations where people were really different, and that's why she felt she was out of it somehow. But I don't think Liz was ever weird. I mean, weird in a way that it's like in an unsociable, weird kind of way. I don't think that's true at all. I just think those were the wrong people to interact with, and we all just need to find the right weirdness of the right people that are just as weird as we are, and
I
then
agree.
you just
find
feel
your
as
people. Find your weird.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying weird as in like it's a bad thing. Like,
No,
I
but I
like
think
being weird.
I have no issue with being weird either, but I think some people think they're too weird for other people.
You're not too weird for me.
Yeah.
I'm just really not great at being the first one to DM unless that barrier has broken. So break barriers with me, but you have to start it. Sorry, that's the unwritten rules in Amanda Land.
I am the one who starts it, but who is not pulling through. I am the
Heyo.
one who reaches out to strangers and is like, but I still think the Animal Crossing villages look like dicks. So that's my introduction to Gemma. That's how I started to message her, because I said on Ben's stream that the Animal Crossing villages look like penises. And so that's how we started to communicate, because Andinis told me to suck it. And, well, to shut up about it, because it was family friendly at the time. And I still needed to confirm that they really look like dicks. So, yeah. And it's just... But I'm hard with keeping contact. I'm the ghosting one then. Which has nothing to say about how much I like or don't like you, by the way. Just putting that out there as well.
Same. If I don't reply to you 9 out of 10 times, it has nothing to do with how I feel about you.
Yeah.
And everything to do with me being quite bad at conversation.
And Amanda, imagine some people also have naps.
Imagine. Imagine.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that was a lot of love and friendship and other weird shit. Just a random rant about anything, everything.
It was
like
good.
A live
Perfect for
therapy
Valentine's
session.
Day. Yeah, it was. It was. Oh, that was good. So yeah, if you like what you hear, come hang out with us on Twitter or Twitch or Discord. You can find all that information at geekherring.com. And you can join Discord at geekherring.com/Discord. I was gonna say /Yuffie because my brain just read the word Yuffie and I was like, that's not the link, Amanda. That's not the link.
I mean, you would want to meet Yuffie as well. Yuffie's great.
I would. Absolutely. Yeah. And she's in Discord, so you can meet her there. Come hang out with us. And if you like what you hear, give us a rate and review on wherever you review your podcast, because that'd be cool too. Thanks.
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 And we will be back next week for another amazing episode, even if we don't know what the topic is.
It is an amazing episode because
oh,
we
it
have
is
an author
because
on.
the book.
It's an amazing episode.
It's true. I'm so excited. Need the books.
So
Need to read
excited.
the book over the weekend.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Cool beans.
See you next week.